Hi, I'm Andrew Wasson. Thanks for tuning in to my weekly guitar blog. It's February 10th, 2013, and this week we're going to run through how to create some jazz-style extended chords. Now, this question was sent in by Robert J. He's from International Falls, Minnesota, and he wrote in with this email. Andrew, lately I've been working with trying to sort out my basic jazz chords. So I've got the major 7th, minor 7th, and dominant 7th chords in a few places on the neck, but I was wondering if you could make a video covering some of the more popular extended jazzy style chords. I'd like to try getting hip with the 9th, 11th, and 13th chord sounds. So any of the basic but popular patterns would be cool. And also a big thank you to you for making all the great free lessons online each week. From Robert J. in International Falls, Minnesota, USA. Well, hey, thanks for writing in, Robert. You know, getting into performing any of the 7th quality chords, their extensions, and then later even developing the altered chords is absolutely excellent for every guitar player's chord practice. Plus, these chord types certainly can be expanded upon with their application into many other styles. Pop tunes, soul music, R&B, country, and even some classic rock songs can all have these chords showing up in various sections of their tunes. So since these chord patterns are great for both technique and because they can show up in so many different songs, I highly suggest putting some good dedicated practice into them to develop their use. So let's not waste any time. Let's zoom in on the neck and learn a small collection of some popular extended chords that you can get into your rhythm guitar playing right away. Well, in this video, I'd like to show 6 of my all-time favorite extended chords. We'll be looking at 3 patterns from the root off of the low E, and then we'll have 3 more extended chords with their roots found off of the 5th guitar string. Now, at your at-home practice, definitely get a chord book, analyze more, continuously go through different kinds of shapes, develop them as well off the 4th string root and so forth. So just continue to expand with what I'll be showing in the lesson plan here. Now, let's start with 3 chord patterns rooted out off of that 6th string there down off of a low E. And first up is the chord voicing that I like to use for major 6. And in the diagram that you see on screen, that diamond is your root, and that's going to be found on the low 6th string there. The fingering is going from the 2nd to the 1st to the 4th finger to the 3rd. String sets involved are the 6th string, the 4th, the 3rd, and the 2nd. We're not playing anything on 5th. You can just use the underside of your middle finger to lightly touch if you're strumming to kill out that sound. And the root again is on the low string, so that particular 5th fret would be an A major 6. If I needed G major 6, I could just bring it down a whole step. If I wanted a B major 6, bring it up to the 7th fret there. But it's completely movable. Okay, and I'd like to move next from there over to a minor 11th. The minor 11th, again, we'll just set it up off that A there on the 5th fret of the 6th string. And then we'll have ring finger and small finger and then index come across. You have the frets are 5, and then you skip the 5th string A, and then you're going to go to the 4th string 5th fret, and then the 3rd string 5th fret with the ring and small fingers, and then you'll have the index up top there at the 3rd fret of 2nd string, that D note up there. The notes in that chord off of A would be A, G, C, and then D on top. The D is the 11th. Very cool sounding chord. Same thing as before too. That's your root. If I wanted a G minor 11, take it down there. If I wanted B minor 11, take it up here. So the root is down below. Now let's do one more though. Dominant 13th. Very cool sounding chord. Very groovy. Now this chord here starts out with index finger, and that's going to be again off that A. And then we'll have the G note in it, that flat 7. We'll have the major 3rd with the ring finger. So index, middle, and ring, and then the small finger will be up on top on the 13th. So the fingering is literally just 1, 2, 3, 4 right across the fretboard there. So that's an A 13th. If I needed G 13th, just move it down. If I needed B 13th, up here. That's how those operate. Now, next, let's shoot over to 3 more patterns that are built with their roots off of the 5th guitar string. I'll begin this group with one of my other all-time favorites. It's a major 9 chord voicing. It's a very cool sound. Now, this chord begins, of course, off of the 5th string. At the 5th fret here, we have a D. And then there's a major 3rd. From there, we got an F sharp with the index finger. Small finger comes up next to grab the 7th degree. So that's a C sharp. And then on top, we have the 9th, which would be the E. And the fingering is just 2, 1, 4, 3. All those inside 4 guitar strings, and that's rooted on D, so that's a D major 9. If I wanted a C major 9, I could take it down a whole step. If I wanted an E, I could bring it up there at that 7th fret on the E note. Very cool sounding chord. Now let's take this 9th concept out a little bit into the dominant world. Check out a dominant 9 chord. Now in this one here, we still have the D, of course, if we're going to build it off that 5th string, 5th fret. And then we'll still have the major 3rd, the F sharp will still be involved there. We have a flat 7, though, to bring about the color of the dominant sound. Then on top here is the E, so that's our 9. And if you want to take it one step further, you could also put the 5th on top. That's an A on top if you want it. That's a D dominant 9. If I needed a C, I could move it down. If I needed a E, move it up. If I needed F, go up one higher. But it's completely movable, and the root is the bass note again. Okay, let's move to the last voicing I'm going to show. This is a very cool sounding chord. Again, we're going to build it off of that D note. It's called a minor 11. Very cool sounding chord. So we have our middle finger this time, taking the root, and then a ring finger on the flat 7 tone. Then we have our minor 3rd, up there, that F. Then on top here, we'll have our 11th, the G. And again, that's the root down there, so that's a D minor 11. If I wanted E minor 11, just slide it up a whole step, of course. If I wanted F minor 11, 1/2 step higher. And that's pretty much the 6 favorite chords that I've got to show you in this video. And the next thing I'd like to do is put these chords into action, or a few of them anyway. First, I'd like to take a fairly generic chord progression that does not contain any extended chords. All the chords will be those of the 7th quality type. And after playing through the changes, I'll swap out the 7th qualities for nothing but extended types. So here's the progression. It's going to go E major 7, E major 7 chords is the first one, then we'll move over to a C major 7, and then we'll have B minor 7, and then an A dominant. So here's the progression played with those basic 7th quality chords. One more time. Now let's put those really cool sounding extended chords that I demonstrated to work on this basic sounding 7th chord progression. And just to spice it up, we'll take all these groovy extended chord types and put them on every step. So here's what the progression sounds like now. We're going to do E major 9. Then we'll move over to a C major 6. Head down to B minor 11. And then A13. Okay, so here's the progression with those extended chords. Well, you know, chord types that include extensions are very cool sounding, and they can really spice up a progression and increase the overall cool factor of a set of chord changes for many different pieces of music almost instantly. The other cool thing when we swap out extensions for any of the standard 7th chords is that by extending a chord into a 9th or an 11th or 13th, we can retain the function of the chord in the progression, since the overall quality is still functioning as it was when the chord existed as a 7th type. So the harmony of the chord progression actually stays the same. All the changes are just simply the color of how the chord sounds. It's a great way to start adding more flavor into your jazz or maybe soul or R&B rhythm guitar without having to learn a ton of new information regarding harmony and theory. Anyway, that's about all the time I have for today. As always, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great week, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye for now.